Namaste, I am Akshay Malhotra, founder of School of Metaphysics. So today we'll talk about something that many of us experience but might not fully understand. Psychic attacks. That means attacks that you cannot physically see but they energetically impact you. So there are different forms of psychic attacks and we all go through these different forms of attacks which affect us in different ways. Let us try and understand what these attacks are and what we can do to prevent our energy from these attacks. So the very basic attack that we all know is called nazar or evil eye. So what is the psychic attack all about? So as you know, nazar is the unconscious form of psychic attack. That means the person deliberately may not mean to harm you, but unconsciously or subconsciously they're sending that negative energy out to you, which can affect your energy field depending on the frequency of your energy fields. That means if your frequency is at a lower energy level, that this attack will affect you in a deeper way. If you're vibrating at a higher frequency, the same attack will not affect you that adversely. So nazar is a very common form of attack that we all go through on daily basis. It can come from our friends, our family, people we love, and it may not necessarily be a conscious form of attack. At times it can be conscious, but majority of the time it is an unconscious form of attack, that they don't actually mean to harm us, but they subconsciously sense that negative energy which affects us energically. So very basic form of attack, and you must have seen your grandmothers, grandfathers doing simple ritual of extraction which they say nazar utar di hai. So it is a basic ritual in which they extract out that negative energy from your aura to take out that negative energy or nazar which is affecting your energy fields. The second form of psychic attack that we all go through is called negative program. What is negative program? Negative program is actually a negative thought which is being sent to you or projected to you by somebody. It can come from your friends, family, co-workers, anybody. It can be deliberate or it can be non-deliberate in nature. For example, somebody can just tell you can never be happy, you cannot make money, you can't succeed in this thing. So they're just giving you a command or an instruction, but it is like a negative command that enters your subconscious. And anything that enters your subconscious works as a program. So it is called a negative program because your entire body starts responding towards this program, starts to work on this program. And from childhood, we have been given these negative programs multiple times. We have been given these programs a lot of times. So we have to get rid of these programs in some way or the other. The third form of attack is called mental domination, or commonly known as Vashikaran in Indian culture. You must have seen these astrologers advertising Vashikaran and all these things. So what is mental domination? Mental domination is that you do a set of rituals and you try to control somebody mentally. That means you dominate them mentally and the person becomes powerless in front of you. So whenever this mental domination is done on anybody, they feel like they are powerless, they can't take any decision in front of that person who has done this on somebody. In most of the cases what I have seen in our case studies, it is done by a third party. That means you go to an astrologer or somebody who practices witchcraft or such things, and then you tell them to do this mental domination on the person you want them. So anybody can get it done. It is a conscious form of a psychic attack. It cannot affect in a subconscious way. It is a conscious form of attack that happens and affects everybody. Next form of attack that we talk about is curse. So what is curse? Curse is again a conscious form of a psychic attack in which when somebody goes through an exaggerated state of emotion. That means they go to heightened sadness, worry, envy, and they try projecting that energy onto somebody. And they consciously curse that person. That I want this to happen to him. I want him to never be happy. I want him to have this in the future. This is called curse when somebody is consciously thinking about you and sending that negative energy towards you. And it normally happens when they are in a heightened state of emotion. That means they are projecting all that emotion into a negative attack that is being sent towards you. It is always a conscious form of a negative attack, and I think we all have cursed at some point of our time to someone. Cursing is a very common thing that we all do casually also at times. So when you go through any such emotions, you want bad to happen to the other party. This is curse, and it affects adversely on our energy field. It weakens our aura, and if our energy field is weak already, it can affect us in a much deeper way. The next form of the attack is called a entity attachment. So what is entity attachment? Entity attachment is when a soul or an earthbound entity attaches itself to somebody's energy field. It can be deliberate in nature and it can be non-deliberate also. That means you're just walking down the road and an entity just connects itself to you, or you're just roaming around and an entity connects itself. So these entities act as a parasite. That means they'll connect themselves with your energy field, either with a person or with the house. And what they do is they try sucking out the energy of the person. Like a parasite, they keep depleting that person, and that person starts becoming low on the energy field, and the entity becomes powerful over the time. So this is again a very common insight that we observe in people. Entity attachment and can manifest in physical illnesses, in mental problems, in spiritual illnesses. A lot of symptoms of the psychic attacks, which we'll be discussing later in the videos, can show up because of entity attachment. The next form of psychic attack is again done by an expert, and it is done with the use of a psychic link. So what is psychic link? Psychic link is something that contains an imprint of your energy. It can be a strand of your hair, it can be a drop of your blood, anything that has your sweat, your semen, anything. So a piece of cloth that you have worn will act as a psychic link. Or the most simplest psychic link is a picture, a photograph that is available. So they use that psychic link to connect to an object. It can be a doll, it can be anything. And after connecting you to a psychic link, whatever they'll do to the object, that same energy will transmit it onto the person. So for this, they need something to develop a psychic link with that person. It is done by advanced people who are either Wicca practitioners, occult healers, or somebody who's practicing tantra or different forms of modalities of this black magic and witchcraft. And these are very powerful attacks that are being sent onto somebody. And these are also very common these days. We see a lot of people going through these attacks as well. And finally, the attack that comes, it is not that common though, is from black magic. So these are actual people who have practiced a lot of siddhis. That means they have a lot of power, and they have a very powerful, profound practices with which they can harm somebody in a very deep way, in a very adverse way. So these people, when they practice black magic or something like this, they would not even need a psychic link. If somebody is a sadhak or they have unlocked some siddhis in their body, they can just, with a picture or the name, they can give this energy onto somebody. But the good part about it is that you would not find these people easily in this society. They are normally secluded from the society. They are doing their own sadhanas, own practices, own meditations. But still we come across people who perform various set of rituals to harm somebody mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, on different levels. And they perform different set of rituals to affect somebody. So what they actually do is they try to amplify the negative thought that they are being sending through a set of rituals, and then that amplified energy goes and affects the person. And it is the strongest form of psychic attacks that happens to an individual. So these are different from the psychic attacks that an individual can go through. So how to know that you're going through the psychic attacks? The most convenient way of understanding if you're going through psychic attack is going to a healer who will actually, or a clairvoyant who can actually see and sense these energies, and they'll tell you, okay, if you're going through it, this can be the possible outcomes of symptoms. The very common symptoms that you can do your self-analysis is at the quality of your sleep. So you have to look at your sleep quality. If your sleep quality is not good, you're not sleeping timely, or you feel like that your quality of sleep is not good, you're not able to go deep into the sleep. And once you wake up in the morning, you feel depleted, you feel tired, you feel exhausted. It can be a possibility that you're going through any form of a psychic attack. Second thing is, if you feel tired, depleted and exhausted throughout the day also. If you feel that you don't have energy to do anything at times. Every time you feel depleted and tired, it can be a profound symptom of psychic attack. Having unexplained anxiety or illnesses, that means your medical reports are fine, doctors say everything is okay, but you feel there's something deep down which is not at peace with you. So that means having any form of a physical or a mental illness which you feel is something more profound, which is not showing up on any physical test reports. Another symptom of psychic attacks include frequent accidents. So if you're having small accident, it can be as small as knocking your foot on a door or anything like that. These also represent your aura is weak, and their negative energies present in your aura, so that you're getting repeated injuries, cuts, bruises, all these things are happening. It can also be a symptom of psychic attack. If you're going through unexplained headaches, if you're having frequent headaches, they can also be a symptom of psychic attack. So these are few symptoms that you will be experiencing if you have any of the psychic attacks. If you have unexplained bouts of anxiety, panic attacks, palpitations, they can also be a symptom of psychic attack. So you have to look out for these symptoms in your body, and if you feel that you're going through any of these symptoms, you can always get in touch and we'll be happy to help you. I hope this video clears a few doubts about psychic attacks and what they are, and gives you a deeper clarity about the term psychic attacks. And I'll be making more videos about understanding them and how you as a layman, without a knowledge of healing or being a healer, can protect yourself from all these psychic attacks. So stay tuned. Wish you all the best. Thank you.